Whenever you're set up, then I will set myself up better. Huh? No. Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. I don't know. There's not a computer. I don't know. Yeah, Baruch Hashem. Good about it. In the video. We're learning the Gemara, Kitten and Zion and Beis. The next Gemara discusses the different incidents that took place during the Korban. It shows us how the Klal Yisrael was able to overcome the Nisyanis and survive. Learning about these Saras gives us the tools we need to survive the continued goals. The Gemara says, Omer Yud, Omer Shmuel, V'Temer Rav Ami, V'Ami Lodim, Naspisa Tona. Ma'aseh B'Dalad Meos, Yolodim, V'Yolodo, Shenish Pulakoyam. They were taken by the Romans in captivity. Kriznus. Hirgishu Ba'atzma. These young children understood Lama Henis Baksin, what they're being taken from. Amru. Imonu Tobin Beyam, Onu Boim L'Chai Olam Haba. If we jump into the ocean, we give up our own lives. The older boy said, Amma Hashem, min Bashan Oshiv, min Mitzulos Yah. He darshan the pasuk, min Bashan Oshiv, min Ben Shine Arayos, from the teeth of the lions, the Romans, Oshiv b'metzulas yom, elu shetovim bayom. That even those that are drowning, that give up their lives, they will also be zeicha to olam haba. Kiven sheshamu yados kach chafsu kulan v'noflu tok hayam. The girls, as soon as they heard the psak, they jumped into the ocean and gave up their lives. Nasu yoladim kavachayim v'yatzman. So the boys made a kavachayim. Brogu mahalolu shadarkin lekach kach. Onu shein darkenu lekach achas kama v'kama. For us, it's a bigger bezoyin. It's a bigger busha. Of course, we should give up our lives. Avhen Kofzu Tochayom, and they also jumped into the sea. Valema Kosav Omer, and this is what the pasuk is referring to. Ki Olecha Haragnu Kol Hayom, Nechshavnu Kitzom Tivcha. This pasuk is from Tehillim. David HaMelech speaks about the tsaros that would come in our galus, the never-ending calamities that follow one after the other. Then he says the galus must end. The galus must end because we have a schus, and that is ki olecha horagnu kol hayom nechshavnu kitzom tivcha. We're constantly giving up our lives for Kiddush Hashem, and for that schus, we should be saved. By whom will we consider Kitzom Tivcha? Both in the eyes of the Goyim and in the eyes of the Yid. In the eyes of the Goyim consider us like sheep. Who cares if you kill 1,000, 10,000, 1,000,000, or 6,000,000? Kill a sheep, kill a Jew. Kill a fly, kill a Jew. And also in our own eyes is Kitzom Tivcha. Because when faced with the choice of Avodah Zarah, a Yid will give up his life, and the decision will be as easy for him as it is to kill a sheep. And the Gemara continues with yet another example of Ki Olecha Haragnu Kol Hayom. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Zu Isha V'Shiva Baneha is talking about a woman. It's a machlokas in the Medrash who she was. There were 7 sons. Oshur Lakamu the Kesar. They were brought in front of the Kesar. Orule Plach Lavodas Kochovim. Bow down to Avodah Zarah. Amulahu. The first one said, Kosav B'Torah. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. You crazy? The Torah says, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I'm not going to bow down to your Avodah Zarah. Afkuhu v'kakluhu. They took him out and they killed him. Oshiu le'ida l'kamedi kesar. They brought the next one out. Orvulei plach lavodas kochavim. Bow down. Amalahu, the second son, answered, Kosav b'Torah Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Afkuhu v'kakluhu. They took him out and they killed him. The Gemara continues. All 7 sons would be killed. Each one was given the same choice by the Kesar. Bow down just once to my Avodah Zarah, and you live a wonderful long life. And each one immediately refused the offer. Yet each one brought a different pasuk. Why? Why didn't they all learn from the first pasuk? The first son said, Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Why did the second son have to learn out his Mesiras Nefesh from the pasuk of Shema Yisrael? Rav Shach explains it was a bigger nisayon for the second son. He had seen his brother killed. A malach didn't come down to save him. The Kesar didn't drop dead on the spot. Where's the Rebbeinu Shalom? The second son needed an additional pasuk to prepare him for his Mesiras Nefesh. And each one of the other brothers had a greater nisayon. The third brother had witnessed 2 brothers killed. And the fourth brother witnessed 3 brothers killed. Each brother needed more and more psukim to strengthen his amunah, to give him strength to be Meiser Nefesh. The more we learn about Hashem, the more we focus on His koiches and His maisim, the more we review the nisim, the clearer our perception of the Borei Olam is, and the stronger our amunah becomes. Amunah is understanding the godless habarei and our relationship to Him. Amunah can be split into 3 parts. How great and powerful the Ribono Shalom is, how Hashem is involved in even small, seemingly insignificant details, and how much Ribono Shel Olam loves and desires to do good for me. How great and powerful the Ribono Shel Olam is. Emunah is the understanding that Hashem is involved in the big picture issues. Life and death, war and famine, disease and disaster, which countries go to war, which countries are peace. The whole Nisana Tokef. There are no random occurrences. Hashem is intricately involved in the running of the world. Hashem is Hakif, Baal Yecholis, Baal Koiches Kula, strong, totally capable, and masterful. The Nefesh HaChaim explains that Hashem is the creator of everything, and is Hashem who can cause it to continue existing every moment. When someone is writing, we don't say the pen is writing and is being guided by a man. We understand that the man is writing. The pen is only the instrument that he uses to write with. In davening we say, Hameir la'aretz v'ladorim aleh barachamim. Hashem gives light to the world. We don't thank the sun. The sun is only the instrument. It's even more than that. A man can't write without a pen. Hashem could give us light without the sun. Hashem chose to give us light with the sun. Hashem is involved in even small and significant details. Hashem is involved in every aspect of my life. Hashem is there with me, 24/7, 365, all day, morning to night. No human being or other power can affect what happens to me. Goyim have a problem with this concept because Goyim tend to compare unknowns to what they have experienced. The Goyim picture their God as a man, a strong man, a wise man, an old man, a talented man, a unique man, but a man. When a man is busy with one thing, he can't be involved in something else. The president doesn't know or doesn't even care if the White House lawn is mowed on Tuesday or Wednesday. But Yidden say every day in the Ani Mamin, Habar Yisparach Shemo Eino Guf, V'lo Yasiguhu Masike Haguf. We can't understand it, we can't picture it. But Hashem is not limited like a man. Hashem can be concerned about every little detail in every person's life. Hashem created and orchestrates all activities. V'hu levado hu. Only Hashem. Osa v'yaseh v'kol hamaseh. It is impossible for us to understand this. It's impossible for us to picture it. Just like it's impossible for us to understand or picture the concept of infinity. Everyone agrees it exists, but no one can understand infinity. The Gemara in Erechim gives examples of small yeshurim that a person can experience. It explains that every single one of them is from Hashem. If a person has a suit tailored and it doesn't come out exactly right, if a person wanted a hot drink, it came out a little bit cold. If you put a piece of clothing on backwards and has to take it off and redo it. If you put a hand in his pocket for 3 coins and 2 coins come out. Every single small, insignificant difficulty is from Hashem. Simply put, nothing can exist and no activity can occur, no matter how small, without Hashem. And the third part is how much Hashem loves every Yid and how much he wants to do good for him. Hashem is kind, loving, and merciful. He created me only to do chesed for me. And Hashem only wants what is my best. I'm responsible to be proactive. I have to do ishtadlis, but I'm not in charge of the outcome. That is Hashem's role. As much as a parent loves a child, multiply it 1,000-fold and begin to understand the love Hashem has for each one of us. We can see this love, this Ava, in another way as well. The Tfilas and Midrashim, referring to the 3 weeks, constantly mention the concept of Bechiyah, crying, referring to the Ribono Shalom. Now, of course, the Ribono Shalom doesn't cry. However, like all attributes, when we refer to Hashem, we're only using these words to help us understand. When we say that Hashem has a hand, it doesn't mean he has a hand. It's referring to the action that is done by Hashem. So why use the concept of crying, referring to Hashem? There are many different emotions that a person can have. He can be happy, he can be sad, he can be surprised. If you go to the wedding of your landlord's cousin's plumber's daughter, you can sing and dance and beam with joy. You don't even know who the chassan and kala are, and yet you can dance away in the middle of the circle. You can show happiness even if you don't feel it. It is different at a funeral. Everyone might look sad, but the only ones crying are the ones who are really close to the nifter. Crying is an emotion that comes from inside. Crying symbolizes a very real closeness. The Ribono Shalom cries over the tzaras of Klal Yisrael. This emunah is so precious. It's so necessary. A person can live without food for weeks. You can survive without water for days. You can't survive without oxygen for even a few minutes. The neshama needs emunah more than the body needs oxygen. By Kriyas Yamsuf it says, "Vayedu Mitzrayim ki ani Hashem." Finally, the Mitzrim are now going to know that I am the Ribono Shalom. Rav Shach asks, what difference does it make? They're about to be drowned. They're going to be history in 5 minutes. Vayedu Mitzrayim ki ani Hashem. The pasuk is teaching us how precious and important even a few moments of recognizing and appreciating Hashem truly are. Every moment is a moment of being closer and more connected to the Borei Olam. Our Gemara, speaking about the 7 sons, each one reciting a different pasuk before giving up his life, is teaching us how to survive in Golus. At the time of the Churban, there was a long, bitter Golus ahead of Klal Yisrael. We are still suffering in that Golus. There'll be crusades and holocausts, blood libels. How would Klal Yisrael get through the Golus? How is it possible that there should still be frum Yidden around? There are no Greeks, no Romans, no Persians, no Crusaders. All those who tried to kill Klal Yisrael are gone. Nothing but the Jews. They are still alive and as vibrant as ever. How is this possible? The Gemara tells us, with the Emunah, the Yidden would be able to survive. A Yid was placed in one of Stalin Yimach Shemo's Siberian labor camps. One morning as he awoke, he contemplated for a moment what he was going to say Moda Ani about. After all, what type of life was he leading? Far off in a distant forsaken corner of the world, a captive in the ice-cold weather of Siberia, separated from his family. He was forced not to observe Shabbos, not to put on tefillin, not to keep kosher. There were no Jews around him. What then was he thanking Hashem with the words, Shehechazarta bi nishmosi bechemlo? What's the compassion? What do I have? And then he thought about the last words. And he thought of a different pshat. Rabba emunah secha. They can take everything away from me physically, but they can never take away my emunah in the Ribono Shalom. For that precious ability alone to have emunah in Hashem, it's worthwhile to get up in the morning and meet the day ahead. And with that shot, he regained the will to live, and he survived the inhuman conditions. Every morning we say the bracha, Shasli Kol Tzarki. One should be mechamed to thank Hashem for his shoes. Someone once went to Rav Shusha, a very, very poor tzaddik, who didn't even own a pair of shoes, and they asked him, Rav Shusha, what are you saying the bracha for? You don't even have shoes. He smiled, explained to them, let me tell you what this bracha is all about. I'll tell you why I have so much kavanah. If someone gives you a beautiful suit that's too big, you bring it to the tailor, takes it in. Someone gives you a shirt that's too small, move the buttons. But if someone gives you shoes, they're too big or too small, they cannot be for you. Sha'asali kol tzarki means that every single thing Hashem gave me and every nisayon he puts in front of me is tailor-made for me. Just my size. What are the benefits of this emunah? The better and clearer emunah, the easier it is to serve Hashem and do mitzvahs. The better and clearer emunah, the more we can withstand the gzeiros against us. And the better and clearer emunah, the more bitachon we have. Bitachon is a consequence of emunah. It's a great thing. Once something happens to Yid, if he lives with emunah, he says Gam zu l'tova. At the same time, if he needs something for tomorrow, he totally trusts the Ribono Shalom, that the Ribono Shalom will give him everything he needs. The Ribono Shalom can do it, and he will do it. With that attitude, a Yid can live with simcha every day. He doesn't get disappointed if things don't go the way he wanted them. V'akol ka'asher la'kol me'Hashem hu. Every single thing is from Hashem. K'vi'atzoso haniflo, according to his amazing planning. V'chokmoso habilti nodos, and his great wisdom, which is far beyond our understanding. And this emunah is so, so fragile. The concept of nature goes against emunah. Everything grows by itself. If you plant a seed and water it, it will grow. You don't see Hashem's involvement. Even the chiyuv of shtadlus seems to contradict emunah. It's all in my hands. I have to work. It's up to me. I put an effort, I achieved, it's my doing. Every time you daven for a cholah and they don't recover, it chops away at our emunah. Both in the general world scene and our personal life. We are battered. We have so many seemingly difficulties. It's sometimes hard to see Hashem. Hashem, we so badly need your help. Where are you? It was always like that. Emunah was very easy to lose. Torah says after Kriyas Yamshu Vayaminu B'Hashem of Moshe Avdo, the Torah is made that Klal Yisrael achieved this emunah. They saw everything so clearly. Masha Roh Shifcha Hayom Lo Roh Yechesko Ben Buzi. They saw it like a novi. And right afterwards it says, Vayavo Marosa, Vayilonu Ha'am HaMoshe Leimo Manishte. They complained to Moshe, what will we drink? What happened to their emunah? And then, Vayilonu Adas B'nei Yisrael HaMoshe V'Aaron B'Midbar. They complained again. And then, mamish, like the TA bumper stickers, and again. Vayorev Ami Moshe. What's pshat? They just saw Hashem's hand as clearly as a Navi. They had total amunah. How could they lose it so fast? Chatzkel points out that amunah needs chizuk every single day. If someone is not mechazik himself, his amunah is weakened. Why is amunah so fragile? Probably because of the great need for amunah. The Yetzer Hara is constantly attacking it. No matter how great they are, everyone has to work on strengthening his amunah. If an adult would wear the tzitzis that he wore in kindergarten, he would look quite foolish. He would not be Makai in the mitzvah of amunah. Yet there are adults walking around with the amunah they learned in kindergarten. Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is truly everywhere. Yeah, it's amunah, but certainly not enough to enhance his avodas haborei. Amunah doesn't come from seeing miracles. We base our amunah on the nisim of Mitzrayim. Yet the Mitzrayim saw the exact same thing, and it didn't affect them at all. Amunah comes from work. Reb Chatzkel, the Mashgiach of Ponevezh, gave many shmusim about Amunah. I think the Chazon Ish referred to him as the Gadol Hador in Amunah. But he felt that shmusim weren't enough for him. How did he work on his Amunah? He had a room in the door. One day the Talmidim heard noise and scraping coming from the room. Reb Chatzkel was moving his furniture around. He created a path like Yamsuf, and he was walking through it. He wanted to make the experience of Kriyas Yamsuf very real and vivid in his mind. A person can check his amunah. When amunah penetrates his heart, he'll feel less stress, anxiety, fear. He'll feel naturally calm, rarely getting angry. This is the level of amunah that we all see. It comes from constant review of the basics, hearing them from different angles, and learning different svarim that speak about amunah. Yes, we all need to work. There are so many ways of improving. You all have Rabbeim. Ask them for suggestions. But I want to mention 2 suggestions. One very, very difficult, and one very, very simple. The difficult one. There's a very choshev ben Torah who was sick. He asked that people should try to have kavanah when saying the Shem Hashem. For example, when saying the bracha, you say Baruch Atah Hashem. When you say Hashem, you pause for the slightest moment and think Adon Kol, the master of everything. What will this do for you? He'amanti ki adabir. Just saying something over and over and over again will make an impression. The more we say Adon Kol, the more we think that Hashem really is the master of the world. And the more we will internalize it. What will this do for Mordechai David ben Leah? Never, never underestimate the power that every single one of us have. We may be only 10 or 11 years old, maybe in the 7th grade, but if you get used to having this kavanah, you can make tremendous differences to him and other Cholei Yisrael. I recently sent over a story to my friends who come to Cocoa Club. I hope they'll excuse me if I repeat it. It's just so appropriate. I saw it in an article in Mishpach about 12 years ago. There was a family in Ashdod that suffered the loss of their mother. They decided to strengthen themselves in the way they recite brachas as a schus for their mother's neshama. After being taught that a bracha is more complete if someone says amen, if someone answers, they committed themselves to try to make sure that someone answers amen. Their 10-year-old daughter came home from school and the house was empty, and she was very thirsty. Despite her thirst, she waited. An hour later, she was very, very thirsty. She waited. More than 2 hours later, finally, one of her siblings came home. She made a bracha, and her sibling answered. The next morning, she told her father she had the funniest dream. She dreamt that her mother came to her, and her mother said that the Mesiras Nefesh that you had to wait for that bracha made a big commotion in Shemayim. In that schus, the mother said a certain classmate of hers would be cured from a very grave illness. She told her father, the girl was in school yesterday. She wasn't sick. The dream doesn't make sense. The father called up the classmate's father because they were friends. They were Ger Hasidim. They davened in the same shtickle. And he told over the story about the dream his daughter had. The father was moved, and he confided that there was a problem. They had gone to a doctor, and she had a very serious illness that would require much treatment, and they wanted to start. Right now, she appeared healthy, but she wasn't at all. They decided to go to the Ger Rebbe and ask him what to do. The Ger Rebbe said, go back to the hospital and get her tested again. They went back to the hospital. The hospital refused. Thousands of dollars these tests cost. We don't make mistake in our tests. Of course we're not going to do it. There's no medical reason to redo the test. They went back to the Rebbe. The Rebbe said, do it privately. Go to a private doctor, pay the thousands of dollars, and retest. The test results were shocking. Shocking and inspiring. There was no trace of the illness. The girl was completely cured with no apparent explanation other than the schus of her 10-year-old friend in her devotion to answering Amen, having someone answer Amen to a bracha. Never, never underestimate the power of every single one of us. You can't be machaven for every Shem Hashem. Take the first bracha Shmona Esrei. There's 3 there. Take the first bracha you say every day. Take Asher Yatzar. Do something. It will be a tremendous schus. Only in Shemayim they will know how great it will be for Mordechai David Ben Leah and the Socher of Holy Israel. And now a simple suggestion. Tomorrow, after davening, we will have available a small card that has 7 thoughts from the Chovas Halevavos. Take a card. Find a specific time when you go over the card every day. I chose right before Kriya Shema Amita. You can put it in your tefillin bag and say it after davening every morning. Hamanti ki adaber. It's better if you say it out loud. If you're with other people and embarrassed, read it to yourself. You know how long it takes? If you read it slowly, it's about 37 seconds. Is there a single person in this room who isn't willing to invest under 40 seconds to improve his emunah? Will this make a difference? It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed, and not by Lapidus. It's guaranteed by Gedolah. It's 7 simple things. And your Yetzer Hara is going to tell you, remember, the Yetzer Hara is not interested in emunah. He's going to tell you it's nerdy, it's corny, it doesn't make sense, it's for Harrys. The first one is, Hashem loves me. So I'll be honest with you. I tried it out first. I don't like to speak to people and suggest something unless I give it a test run myself. I tried it. And at the beginning, it felt a little funny saying, Hashem loves me. No one was listening. But after a while, it kicks in. And you begin to think, Hashem really loves me. In spite of my aveiros, in spite of my stupidity, in spite of the mistakes I made, he really loves me. It's guaranteed. It has to help. I'm willing to say, if any person in this room, camper, one of the Sifta, a staff member, anyone who's here in Camp Bonim who's a Yid, who tries, gets the card, and comes to me next summer and says, I did it every day, but I did not become a bigger minded. Shut this. There's no problem. You in with me? Okay. We have our problem and myself. If you come and tell me you honestly took it and you read these 7 things, 37 seconds, and you don't see the difference in your emunah and bitachon, your canteen bill next summer, believe later, is on us. The whole summer. Yeah. You can have. Yes, you can go. You can get your steak wrap every night. You get your Belgian wild raffle every afternoon. I don't care what you get. It's on us the whole summer. If you say you did it and you didn't see a vast change in your emunah, it's guaranteed. It has to work. The Yetzer Hara will poo-poo it because that's his job. But this will bring us to a better hakara of the Rebbeinu Shalom. The Gemara brings in Shabbos on Morova b'shashim achnisin adam ladin omim lo nasata v'nasata be'amuna. They ask him, Pashat Pshat is, were you honest in your business? I saw one of the Rishonim explain that's not a kasha for businessmen. It's a question that's going to be asked to everyone. Everyone will be asked, Nasasa v'nasata, did you work hard to accomplish emunah? Did you try to regularly increase your emunah and your Rebbeinu Shalom? Let's rededicate ourselves to this mitzvah, and then all of us here at Camp Bonim will be able to answer together to the question of Nasasa v'Nasato be'amuna, a loud, resounding yes. And that's because we should be zoyka to the Gula.
Shacharis tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the dining room. There will be an 8 o'clock meeting in the Sifta Beis Medrash. We'll be joining together for the Q-Nice at 10 o'clock. Zman Kriya Shema tomorrow morning is at 8.